Good start.
So the midweek wedding was this week, and as you're
the royal midweek wedding,
Thursday wedding, and as you're probably already very aware, Spood, you were the MC.
I was the MC. I'll tell you what, it feels like Tuesday because it was a Thursday wedding right now. My week has been thrown out. I don't know when I'm going to come back from
it. And
we're recording on a Sunday, just for anyone that's curious.
When you were MCing, you did one of those interactive games, and it was a heads tails thing, and there'd be 2 questions, and people that selected correctly would remain standing, and people that were incorrect would sit down.
Yes, I did.
Good little time filler. Pretty funny. There was some funny ones in there, but there was one that really made me laugh. So I was sitting next to the groom, and obviously next to the groom is the bride, and so I had a real good view of this happening. The question was, what's the bride's favorite drink? Is it heads, Jim Beam, or tails, Jack Daniels?
Yes.
Do you remember what you said the correct answer was?
Jim Beam or Jack Daniels? No, not really. I think it was Jack Daniels.
Okay, so the bride.
I'm looking forward to where this is going.
The bride, because the question's about her, so you reckon she'd know the answer. She chose Jim Beam, and then you're like, if you've got your hands on your heads, you said Jim Beam, you're wrong. Sit down. It's Jack Daniels, and she's like, what?
This is my wedding. The question's about me. What the hell do you know?
And I got a good laugh out of that. She's like,
but that's it. Like,
she sat down
because you know where I got the answer from.
From who? Groom. From the groom.
From the groom. Yeah. Did you have a go at Jock? Obviously not.
No, Jesus, it made me laugh because I like literally, if she wanted to, she could just be like, no. I overrule this.
Yeah, she should have. Because we didn't have time to chat with the bride and double check the questions, so we made up the ansans to 80 or 90% of them.
That doesn't matter though.
No, that doesn't matter. Anyway, at least
don't matter.
We got one laugh from you, so that'll do. That's all I was going for.
MC in a wedding, hell of a job.
Can be, yeah.
Made me think, because you and Joey did quite a good job of it. Pretty funny, a lot of energy. I don't know where that came from.
That's all I've got.
But I want to know, if someone approached you who you didn't know personally, someone who you never met, they just come up to you and go, hey, got your number from such and such. I want you to MC my wedding. I'm getting married to another person who you don't know. What price would you put on that?
Good question.
Yeah, excluding travel and stuff, like they're going to cover all that. But what price are you going to put on you preparing and executing? Because the preparation is the invisible part of it that takes.
It's a good question. I mean, it's hard because it comes into how much do you value your time. And I mean, for you and me, if you take a day off to prepare for some random's wedding when you should be selling lights or fans, it's probably going to cost yourself a fair bit.
Yeah.
But let's just say, not getting too caught up on that, how much time would you spend on it? It'd be a bit, wouldn't it? Because I'm thinking about DJs that often get called in MC as well. They probably don't have to worry about it too much. They'll be so confident doing it now. They're already playing the music. They've got the mic. But for you just to get called out there as a dedicated MC, you would be expected to perform because you're there for one reason and one reason only.
And the more you charge, the more you're expected to perform. So if you charge, if you go, already 10 grand, they're going to be like, well, you better be fucking doing some cartwheels or something.
So what do you reckon? Just say, $100 and then go in there and just make it flop.
I wouldn't do it for $100.
No, well, then you wouldn't do it. Oh, yeah, maybe. Jeez, it'd be $1,000 probably.
Have to be.
It'd be $1,000.
But I've had that comment before, and you probably had it since, where people are like, you're really good at that. You should charge people to do it. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
People have said before, you were good at that. They've fallen short from saying you should charge to do that. And I don't think anyone has recommended that I go professional doing it.
Maybe I made that assumption myself. I don't think anyone has told me to go professional. But I was just like, you wouldn't do it for free.
No, you wouldn't.
Well, if you're going to get paid, how much is it?
And people do make good careers doing it. Like, you've got actors, comedians, whoever jump on and do become a
Yeah, but that's because they're an actor or a comedian. Like, that's kind of half the job done. Just them turning up is like, oh, look, it's bloody Robert De Niro. Yeah. Whereas if you're just a nobody who's just professional MC, it's like you got to
And now welcoming Matt
You need to be elite.
from the Spood Matcha.
Who? Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you notice how it, I love how at these events, and it could be a wedding, it could be an end of year 12 graduation thing, but whenever a crowd is like applauding, but there's music on, everyone always ends up clapping to the beat, whether they mean to or not. Just weird. Yeah.
There's nothing worse than people that can't clap in beat when you want them to, though, as well. Like when we did the chant throughout the night, some people just can't quite get it. And when it's the most simple clap, my wife being one of them, I always spot her clapping out of time. It's one of my biggest hates.
Just don't clap.
If you can't keep the beat and you weren't taught that in year one
the door's
or two,
over there.
Then get out of here. Just sing.
Get it.
Now, the MC thing, I think because a lot of people wouldn't be caught dead with a mic in front of 150 people and would get nervous. And the first time I did it, sure, I would have been more nervous, but I think the more you do it, the more relaxed you get. So you actually, like, someone's got to be the MC at a mate's wedding and you are the MC at my wedding. And it can be a burden if someone puts it on you and you're not confident or not ready, which is why I think it's quite mean to choose someone who's not actually that comfortable speaking in front of other people. But if you choose a mate that isn't going to freak out, then they can have some fun. It's not like you've put a burden on someone whose wedding is going to be ruined because they've got that duty. And I think that's what I've taken from it. And at the end of the day, it's about the bride and groom. No one really remembers the one-liners that Joey or I came up with. If you just let the thing flow.
No one remembers.
A few funnies. No one really remembers. No
one remembers when the wedding starts at 2 and the speeches start 4 hours later. Everyone's already half cut.
Yeah. I did go in. You probably didn't notice because we were just trying to keep things flowing, but the entrees came out half an hour late and I thought, it's one of my duties to make sure that things flow here. So I went into the kitchen and opened the doors up. Obviously it wasn't really loud in there, and some young bloke who was running the kitchen sort of stood up quite tall. And I said, mate, what's going on? Like, the entrees are half an hour late. And he walks over to me, stood up, as though he was ready to have a bit of a go. I'm like, righto, mate. I've had 20 beers here. I'm not backing off. So I kind of stood up as well. I'm like, what, any problem? He said, mate, your speeches were running late. And so now the entrees are late. I said, well, that doesn't quite make sense. I would have thought the entrees might be cold, not late, but I can see them all ready to go. I just said, look, it needs to come out because the mains will be late and the dance floor will be late, and let's get the show on the road. And he settled down, brought it out. And then after that, for the mains, for dessert, for everything else, he kept coming up and basically asking for permission to see if it was time for the food to come out or if it was time to clear the plate. So he fell in line, but
he wasn't doing that to take the piss. He was actually
he was good after that.
Oh, that's good.
He just needed a bit of a rev up. So I think if you can do that as well.
Well,
we've spoken about it. I think because you were best man and you did a great job speaking there. There would have been we can go into that in a sec, but there would be young people or anyone going to a wedding for the first time and making mistakes in a best man speech or as MC or as maid of honour that have been made many times before and can be avoided if you could just get some good advice from somebody regarding what you should say, what you shouldn't say, where the line is, the fact that it's a wedding speech, not a 21st speech. And maybe there needs to be a Spood and Matt
how to
memo on how to not ruin a wedding when you get the microphone.
I don't know. Like, if you get nervous, it just falls downhill. Everyone can see you're nervous, and the more nervous you get, the more awkward everything just unravels. So if you're not up to it, you're not up to it. But had to go too far. You got to read the room. Yeah. And I was talking to the groom yesterday saying, oh, geez, I had a few people come up and talk to me and say I should have gone harder at you, like rip into you more.
Yeah, but a few people, what 2 out of 3 out of 150?
Yeah. And he goes,
you can't listen to those voices.
He goes, I'm glad you didn't, because you certainly could have. I go, yeah, I know I could have. And I sort of do wonder, I'm like, did I go too soft? And he goes, no. He goes, no, there's an expectation that the speech is funny but nice. And he goes, you tick that box. If you go too funny with not enough nice, then you've got your balances out. And yeah, it turns into one of those horror speeches. Like, yeah, it was funny, but geez, a bit awkward. Like, which I've also done one of them before. And guess what? Doesn't fucking matter. People still think like, at the end of the day, if you don't offend the bride and you don't offend the groom, the rest of it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think you're
Honestly.
right. If you've ruined the bride's night, well, the groom, it wouldn't have mattered. He's such a good mate.
Yeah.
He would have more been upset if you ruined his new bride's night.
Yes.
That's what you got to be careful
As long as you look after those two, because you're going to offend the in-laws and you're going to offend someone. As long as you don't offend those two, you're good. You've done your job, and the others don't care. Don't matter.
It is funny though that when you get the mic, it all becomes about offending people. Like some people might be honoured to do a wedding speech, and they're concerned about offending someone. Probably wouldn't even pop into their mind. They're not planning on rinsing the bride or the
concern.
groom. Which is for you. How can I not overstep the mark?
Who am I going to offend? Well, it's not that you're trying to offend someone, but you're trying to make a joke, and if someone just doesn't quite get it, then suddenly a joke is offensive somehow. Yes. I don't know. I've never been offended by a joke.
By your jokes.
But maybe if you've had 20 beers, in your head, what's funny isn't anymore.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to make a joke at the start about the nappies not fitting me in the change room.
Actually, I didn't really get that.
I don't know what I was doing.
Were you trying to say that you wear nappies and the ones they've provided don't fit?
Yeah.
Was that the joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think I might have chuckled at it just to give you something, but did anyone laugh at that one? Did anyone get that?
Nah. No, it's one of those things like, in your head, you're like, this is going to be funny. And then you do it, you're like, no, that's not hitting how I thought it would. On to the next one. We'll move on. And no one's mentioned it.
Thanks to
Emma
the staff.
did. Emma found it funny.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What'd you say? You were thanking the staff, but something like, thanks to the staff, you're doing a great job so far tonight. But can I just say, the nappies you provided in the bathroom don't quite fit me.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
What the hell? Anyway, I'm glad your wife found you funny. That one.
Just dumb. Anyway, and none of the staff, all of them had their back to me. Like, anyone listening? No? Okay. Shit. Moving on.
There's some loyal listeners of the pod that were there as well, which was fun, and a few that had heard about it through other people. And I found myself getting quizzed at about, it must have been midnight on the night of the wedding when we were kicked out the back. And this girl starts going, so what's the elevator pitch for the Spood and Matcha? And I'd had 1,000 beers and thought, there is no elevator pitch for the Spood and Matcha. This isn't a job, you realise. This is a bit of fun here. Like, why are you asking for an elevator pitch?
So it was an elevator pitch you meant to have like a concise sort of...
that's right. Yeah, an elevator pitch is like a professional term, a tech term. Give me the pitch. Give me the elevator pitch, which means give it to me in under a minute or even 30 seconds so that I can understand it really quick.
Are we trying to come up with one?
Well, no, we're not, because it's a professional thing. We don't need an elevator. And I said that to her. I said, well, we don't need one. I'm not going to give you one. And she goes, so what's your point of difference? And I said, hey, this isn't a job interview. What's going on here? I'm getting out of here.
I'll give you a point of difference. Find me one other Spood.
Yeah,
you won't.
Right.
You won't. You might find a Spud. Won't find a Spood. That's our point of difference. And that's why our loyal listeners will be called from now on the Spoodlums.
The Spoodlums.
Yeah, we're on board with that.
The worst thing is, Matt, when you come up with a nickname, it sticks.
Sometimes. Not always.
A
lot of them do.
Not always.
A lot of them do. Hector really stuck. The Spoodlums.
The Spoodlums.
I like it. Oh, it rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It just sounds right.
Good on you. The Spoodlums. All right. So if anyone, like, there's a bit of a silly jib segment that could come on here, but if anyone has some worst wedding speeches, worst wedding yarns, or even just some tips, write in as well. I think there's some good we can do in the world here, Matt.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the best tip, because I think the longer, when I hear a speech that, if I remember a wedding speech, I was like, that was bad. It's not always the content. It's just, it was a little bit dry, a bit generic, and the main problem is it went for too long. So you can do a bad speech, and if it's not too long, you just go, oh, well, that was nice, moving on. But if a bad speech goes too long, then it's bad. Then it's bad. If you have a good speech that goes too long, well, there's no such thing. But if you have a good speech that's too short, you always leave people wanting more. And that way you haven't overplayed it. So I think the problem is people get told they're speaking months in advance and they think, all right, it's like I've got to have a page per month here. 6-month notice, 6-page speech. Like, I think the best thing you do is think about it and jot down notes, but don't write it until a couple of days out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just keep it tight.
And if you're not a comedian, don't feel like you need to have a one-liner. Keep it short, sharp. And remember that the reason you're speaking, unless you've been hired as an MC for $1,000 to a random event, is because you know the bride and groom so well. And half your mates are there in front of you. So it's not like you're speaking in front of randoms at a work event or a conference or somewhere else where you don't feel comfortable. These are your mates, and you've had 6 beers, so enjoy it. Jeez.
I'll tell you where my ease of public speaking kind of comes from.
Tell me.
I was in year 6 and I was getting suspended. I'd done some naughty things.
For the
I was meant to be
time.
I was meant to be a prefect and I'd done some silly things and I was getting suspended, and part of my punishment prior to me walking out the door and getting picked up and going home for a week was I had to do a speech to all the staff at the school in the staff room.
Like on a topic or an apology?
Well,
or?
the apology.
Okay, so not a speech, but an apology. Yeah.
Well, I had to write it down and go in there and read it out. And I read it out because I was not happy to do that. I was pretty nervous. I'm like, why am I doing this? This is getting suspended is punishment enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
To a speech to all these staff, and did it. And someone came up to me afterwards, one of the staff going, that was really good, very emotional. Some of the staff started crying. I was like, what? Well, that wasn't that bad, actually.
Because you offended them and they started crying?
And you're a bitch and I hate you.
That's right.
No. And that sort of, after that, I was like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Like, and I didn't.
That's funny. That's where you got confidence from. So good lesson came.
I don't know if that's not the one event, but it's something that I think of. I'm like, just going back to that, I was like, after that, I got this prefect job by doing a speech. So, I mean, I always kind of liked doing speeches on funny subjects, not a serious one. God, fucking shoot me. But,
but an apology to the staff wasn't serious.
It's not fun. Throw a few gags in there.
Yeah. I'm sure a few of them would have had a laugh if you tried to crack a few funnies in your apology to the speech. To
gone in there with whoopee cushion.
But look, the royal wedding overall, shout out to the bride and groom. That was a cracker of a wedding.
10 out of 10. Yeah.
What, even though on the group chat you gave it a 7 out of 10?
No, that was the lighting.
Was it okay?
The lighting was a 7. Always room for improvement. The colour temperatures weren't consistent, which is always a pet hate of mine.
Your 3,000 versus your 4,000 versus your 5,000.
Yeah, they had a bit of 3 and 4 going on.
Oh, no.
And they had a bit of a few lights that were a bit over intense, just the wrong selection for the venue. But 7 out of 10, solid. And they need some new fans. I know a guy, but they need some new fans in there. They look like no good.
All right.
They look no good.
Hey, our friend from the last episode is going to not be able to make it today. I think he got muzzled before.
Sure?
Well, no, I'm not sure.
Appear halfway through.
He might still have the login and just jump on in. I don't know. But I feel like he might have got muzzled after suggesting some banged up abroad yarns.
Yeah, that would, and that. So I reckon we don't touch that one until he's back on, because he's obviously got some ammo ready to go.
Obviously, he wouldn't have brought it up otherwise.
But he texted afterwards saying that he was told, "Sorry, boys, but I won't be able to do any extracurricular activities until footy season's over." And I said, "This is work. This is not for profit work, but it is still work. We don't want to be here."
Yeah, that's right.
You think I want to be?
You think I want to speak to Matt once a week for 45 minutes? I couldn't think of anything worse.
On a show named after myself.
I saw him 2 days ago at a wedding. Yeah. Do you think I want to be up here the guest being called Spoodlums?
I was avoiding talking to you at the wedding.
Well, the reason I've shared a few stories because, God, some silly gym yarns popped up from my mates, but so many of them are too inappropriate to tell.
No, they're not. No.
Fun.
There's a fun line,
couple.
Okay, there were some bad ones. Jeez. There's one that's on the tip of my tongue, but I have to get permission from Silly Jim to tell this one because
It's funny how we've got to get permission from a made-up alias.
Oh,
They're
I think
that bad.
it's one of the best, but I know that it makes him shudder, so I have to check in with him. Yeah, there were some good ones, but you know, I love a little fun fact, right? And I love the origin of a word or the origin of something. And so I think, seeing as we were just at a wedding, I'll throw a few of the wedding tradition.
Oh, very good.
Things. I love them. And I only looked these up once because I was emceeing a wedding years ago, and I was trying to get the juices going. And I was just like, give me the origin of these certain
Some
things.
good material, yeah.
I couldn't tie any of them into my job, but it was still interesting reading about it. Like, why is the wedding cake in many tiers? They're like a castle. Why?
Sure. So there's more to eat?
No, because traditionally, many of the women that came to a wedding, the mother of the bride, the mother of the groom, the grandmother, like they would all bring a cake. And they'd stack them up.
Yeah, okay.
So you'd have a lot of cakes brought by different people, so there'd be different cakes on each layer.
So traditionally it would have been a rainbow cake unless you gave them a theme.
There'd be a lot going on. Traditionally, the best man was your best fighter, like your mate that could fight the best. Because what people would do is rip chunks off the bride's dress as she was leaving for good luck. So
and the best man had to step in and stop them.
Just help the bride get away from the crowd.
Whoa, cool.
And so that's why when you walk down the aisle, the blokes stand on the right-hand side because their sword would have been on their left. So you're standing there and you can see that you've got a sword on. And then
on your side a bit, yeah.
Yeah, and then when you meet in the middle, you're meant to cross and the bloke is meant to be on the right-hand side so that he's got his sword hand free.
But why? Because guests are trying to run up and steal a bit of the bride's dress.
I don't know. It's all symbolic. It was probably just one bad wedding at some point. So from then on, it became tradition. I don't know. But people would rip chunks off the bride's dress. Traditionally, the bride's dress was always very, very colourful.
Okay.
And it was in the late 1800s when Queen Victoria, she was obsessed with photography. She loved it. It was like a new thing. And so they got their wedding was the first royal wedding to be photographed. And so she wanted, as all the photos are black and white, so she wanted to make sure she stood out in the photo. So she wore a really white dress. So that's where the white dress tradition came in.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
And traditionally, the best man speech was a fucking bloodbath.
No. Best fighter and best roaster of the groom. Maybe that's why you got chosen. Best fighter, although your shoulder's still broken from your fight the other day.
Well, we when we were doing our photos over near the pool, it was getting a bit funny. We're getting a bit silly, Jim.
It's always a good time.
Oh, it was funny. So
for the bridal party, yeah.
We got a few photos and we're like, can we get a rugby photo? And we'll get a few to sit down with their hands on their knees and a few in the back with their arms crossed. No one smile. So we did that. That was pretty funny. And the bride sat in, did it as well.
Yeah.
And then we're like, let's do a line out with the groom. Let's lift him.
Yeah.
And he's going, nah, I'm drawing the line there. Do it with AI or something. I don't want to know about it. But just do it. And I practiced throwing the stubby holder as like the ball.
Yeah.
And near tore my shoulder out. Oh my God, fuck.
Because you were firing too. You'd probably had about 5 margaritas by that point.
We started drinking at 12. It was, I said that to Jock. I go, geez, the speeches were late. That's why I went on about the nappies. I was half pissed.
Half pissed. 3/4 of the way there at least.
I was blind.
Yeah. Hey, on the tradition, the other couple of ones that you reminded me of was the tradition of cheersing someone.
Yes.
You probably know that one, but when the tradition of cheersing came from back in the day when people were trying to essentially assassinate each other and poison each other. And so when you were at the bar or lodge, you would cheers each other with your wooden mug, and a little bit of your drink was meant to plop into the other person's drink. Oh. And then you would share a drink together.
I didn't know that.
To show that you hadn't poisoned their drink. So
I didn't know
good
that.
Health. I'm not trying to kill you. Let's share this drink together.
So the etiquette of toasting, at weddings there's lots of toasts. The etiquette that no one knows and no one cares about, but the etiquette is if someone toasts you, you don't drink.
Okay.
because it means it's a sign of arrogance if someone toasts you and you go, yeah, here's to me.
Yeah, okay.
You
Kind of
meant-
like clapping for yourself.
You're meant
when
to
someone's-
acknowledge it, but you don't drink.
Okay.
Yeah, you go cheers. But you don't
All
do
these little
anything.
things you're picking up on in the background going, geez, what a tosser. He drank when he was toasted.
Well, I'm probably the only person that thinks that. Meanwhile, I
probably.
would do the same thing because you're just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, stop looking at me. God.
Any excuse. Yeah. I was just trying to look up what's the origin of, the people had they drag cans or stuff behind cars.
Yeah. I
Apparently
wouldn't know
that's
what that one is.
Apparently that's to ward off bad luck.
That's more of a spiritual one.
Weird. People do weird shit.
Yeah, they do. Like ask you to be their best man. Anyway, no, you did
worries.
well. They all did well.
Yeah, so are we going to make an elevator pitch or are we just going to leave that one?
Well, yeah, no, let's hear it if you've got one.
I don't have one. I've got an elevator story.
Okay.
I don't have an elevator. I don't have
Maybe
an
that's
elevator
it.
pitch.
Next time someone bails you up and says, what's your elevator pitch for the Spood and Matt show? You can just tell them a funny elevator story.
I'll tell you the elevator pitch. Like and subscribe or I will post you a contaminant. in the mail.
That's okay.
Is that a threat? That's not really a...
No,
that's threatening. Sorry.
that is threatening. Yeah, I presume you didn't mean that.
No. I don't know. I was just trying to come up with an elevator pitch. I was on a building site in Bondi when I was a labourer years ago, and when you're a labourer, you do some. You would know. You do some real random jobs.
Absolutely.
Jobs you didn't know existed, like cleaning graffiti poo off walls with a hose and no tools. But I was on this building site in Bondi Junction, and the foreman, there was two foremen that really stick in my mind from those labouring days, and I can't remember which one was which. There was Rock and Roll Cole. So Rock and Roll Cole was missing these two fingers.
So he was
always
doing
like
that all
that.
the time.
Always.
So instead of saying stop, he'd just get rock on.
Keep going.
Surely that's a safety issue.
Stop. So there was Rock and Roll Cole, and there was Cranky Frank.
Yeah, okay.
I think this building site might have been Cranky Frank. My job, I think it was a 6-story building, including the basement, and they had an elevator on site, but the elevator wasn't wired in, so you couldn't press the button and make it come to you, and then you just buzzed it. There was an intercom, and you go,
Yeah.
bzz.
I've seen them too. They're alley max. Don't they call them alley max on site?
Oh, I can't remember.
Is that right?
I can't remember
Alley
that
Mac.
now. But you buzz it, you go.
I've operated one before, but yeah.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, keep
So
going.
you go level 3, go into level 6.
Yeah.
And then you just wait. Or, if the foreman called in, foreman ground level to level 6, they always jump to the queue.
Yep.
You go straight, get the foreman. But my job was to sit on, be in this elevator, just going up and down all day. It's a pretty hard gig. There's no natural light. And you know how sometimes you get on an elevator, you get off and you feel like you've been on a boat?
Mm.
Well, yeah, that's what it feels like all day. You get motion sickness. It's a tough job. And I was in there and I was going up and down and up and down. And, when you're standing in one spot, your feet hurt more than if you're bloody walking around.
Yep.
And so I grabbed a seat and I put the seat in there. Sweet. Sitting down. And, the foreman called it to ground level. Foreman ground level, going to level 6. Yeah, sweet. Went there to ground level, opened the doors up, and he goes, just jump up for a sec. I'm like, yep. And he reached in, grabbed a chair, and just fucking hurled it across the room. If I ever fucking see you sitting down there again, you can fucking pack your shit and go. I'm like, Jesus.
Righto.
All right,
Cranky Frank.
Fucking hell, mate.
Jeez. It's a pretty quick way to lose respect on site, isn't it?
Well, he ended up being a decent fella down the track, but geez, he was having a bad day. And the little labourer Matt got the wrath of it.
Oh, poor little Matt.
Cranky Frank.
Yeah.
Have you got any bad labouring yarns like that?
Well, we shared a few
I know.
towards it. Yeah, a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
But I've operated in an alley Mac before. I thought it was one of the better jobs because for me, compared to what I was doing, I was sweeping up concrete. I was picking up rubbish. We were cleaning up portaloos. We were doing some pretty shitty jobs. But I enjoyed the alley Mac one because I think I had my podcast in, which you'd have to hide from memory because you weren't allowed to listen to music.
Yeah.
And it was near Macquarie University in there somewhere.
What
But
year
no,
was
nothing.
this?
When was I labouring? before I started figuring out how to make money elsewhere.
So podcasts were a thing. How long have they been around?
Maybe it wasn't podcasts then.
Music.
Podcasts would have been around for a while, surely. They wasn't invented
Joe Rogan's
recently.
been around for a minute. Yeah, let's say 15 years.
Audio books,
Yeah. Yep.
With this banged up, look, I haven't got any labouring stories that popped to mind, but I'm sure there's some shockers. But I wanted to pass on a concept which came across, which I benefited from when I was about 18 years old, and the concept of paying it forward. This is a good news story, this one. But mate Benny Mac and I were 18 years old. We had no money over in Spain, right? We're on our way to the Tomato Festival. Have you seen that? Where
La Tomatilla.
La Tomatina.
Tomatina.
And you go up and down the street and just throw tomatoes at each other.
I've seen footage, yeah.
It's absolutely insane. And for a while there, we were trying to do all the big, like Running of the Bulls, La Tomatina, Oktoberfest. We were cruising around trying to do all those fun festivals. Anyway, La Tomatina in somewhere around Valencia from memory was on, and we were 18, didn't have any money, weren't very organised, found ourselves down there and couldn't find accommodation, which wasn't the first time it had happened to us. And it's the night before. We'd been out probably having €1 shots from somewhere to try and save ourselves a bit of money. And we'd got so tired that we needed to find somewhere to sleep. Couldn't. So for the first time in 6 months of backpacking, we tried to find a bus shelter to sleep in. Couldn't find a hostel, couldn't find anything. And you hear these kind of stories when people just get caught out. And sure enough, for the first time we were doing it, going to sleep on the street to get a few hours of shut-eye before La Tomatina the next day. And as we're getting comfortable, or trying to get comfortable, this American bloke walks past. Goes, "You guys all right?" We're like, "Oh yeah, we're all right. We can't find any accommodation / can't afford any half decent accommodation, which is available. We're just going to park up here for the night and head to the Tomato Festival in the morning." He said, No, don't be ridiculous. Come with me. So he takes us to a nearby pub. He was firing, this guy. Takes us to a nearby pub and proceeds to shout us drinks for the next 4 hours, buying us rums and shots, and he was with his wife, and we had such an awesome time. He jumped behind the bar at one point and was making cocktails with the bar staff. And as an 18-year-old, this guy was just the king, right? And the world's richest man because he's shouting us grog.
Yeah.
Looking back, we were in Spain. He was probably from England or America or England. So, the exchange rate's pretty good. It wouldn't have cost him a fortune, but he proceeded to get us blind, and we had such a good time and sent us on our way basically as the sun was rising. So we didn't have to sleep. Our problem was solved. We went to the tomato fight, absolutely cooked without sleeping, but still half drunk, having had the time of our lives the night before and enjoyed this day. Anyway, ever since that, I've thought when I get the chance and I have a bit of money and I see an 18-year-old or 17-year-old stuck in a shitty situation like that, I'm going to pay it forward and look after them as well. And it came up the first time on a recent trip. I'll tell you in a sec. But have you ever had someone look after you like that without going into a bang up abroad story? Or have you always just been left out in the cold to sleep in your swag in Sydney Park?
Nothing's. There's many times where people have bought me a heap of drinks and stuff, like, especially when you're 17, 18, not 17, 18, 19, and you're like, how good's this? But no time when I'm like in a dire situation. Like,
so is it that memorable that if you came across a young bloke, you'd shout him a couple of drinks, like a complete random?
Oh, if I was full of drinks myself. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, that's what I got to pay back for the first time the other day because I was full of drinks myself. We were traveling again and I shouted some uni student and this girl that he was on his first date with her. We shouted them dinner and drinks and they came running out. This is in Japan. They came running out, like so grateful. You know how polite the Japanese can be, and like bowing to us, and you can't do this, trying to pay me. I'm like, no, mate, it's fine. Like, I'm loaded.
blind.
No, definitely not. I'm blind. And Lily's shaking her head, but man, it is such a good feeling being able to pay it forward. So shout out to that bloke who looked after us all those years ago, because I'm constantly looking for backpackers to try and help out, because you get yourself in some tricky situations.
Yeah, no, nothing springs to mind, but I wonder. I don't think I would have, because I was always sort of the skint one. But fuck, you just never know. You get those nights where you buy a round and then everyone disappears. Like, oh, I guess that was my gift for the night. Not getting that one back.
No.
Yeah. When we were talking about labouring just then, I thought of another funny. Oh, it's not really an attack at me like the last one, but we're on this substation job down near Goulburn. It was in the snowy mountains somewhere, and it was cold and it was fucking windy. Hence the wind farm was going in, and so we're on the substation and it was cold. Like, you're super exposed and this wind is constantly blowing through. Like, I was on the whacker packer for like weeks just packing sand. And I remember one time looking up like, oh, it's about to rain. I'm looking around like, there's not a cloud in the sky. It wasn't about to rain. My nose was dripping and then it was dropping down and the wind was blowing it back in my face. But so it was because it was this, because it was a certain sort of construction site, you got to have long pants, you got to have long sleeve shirts, you got to have a hard hat on, blah blah blah. And people were coming up with, like, everyone's wearing neck warmers and heated jackets and gloves and with their fingers cut off so they could fiddle. And quite a lot of people had beanies on underneath their hard hats.
Yep.
But you're not allowed to wear beanies under hard hats. Full stop. Not allowed to do that.
Because it compromises the safety of the helmet.
Well, they used the example of one bloke on one building site somewhere was working down low. Someone up high dropped a chisel, and the guy looked up and he had a beanie on, and his hard hat. As he looked up, his hard hat fell back, and the chisel went straight through his forehead and killed him. That's the story. But I'm like, we're not on a multi-story building site. We're out in a paddock. Just getting blown by we're going to die of exposure here. Anyway, so the foreman we had a toolbox meeting every morning. Foreman called the meeting at 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. And we're all standing there waiting for the meeting. We're fucking freezing, like just blowing the fog. And he comes out and he's this big bald guy and he's got his shirt on, sleeves rolled up, just in a shirt, sleeves rolled up. And he's this big fella. He's like, righto, no more beanies under hard hats. And we go, fuck me, like, this fucking bloke. He just sits in his office in the heater all day. And we're like, someone goes, but it's fucking cold. He goes, yeah, no, you're right. It is cold. Go down to Bunnings. Go to Bunnings there in Goulburn. I think it's aisle 6. Get a can of Harden the fuck up.
Double down.
And we're all going off, righto. Anyway, so, yeah, we all started wearing ear warmers, like pretty much a beanie with the top cut off. Just put it around your ears. But
that's not fun. These foremen, I wonder who taught them. They've obviously been trained in one way, and that's go hard, be tough.
Oh, yeah, you can't. The job will stall if you're constantly trying to keep everyone comfortable.
Yeah, I
Get
guess
into it.
Yeah,
get into it. Don't die, and don't turn up drunk.
While we're reminiscing on some of these younger stories from our younger days, I want you to tell the story, because you say it well and you were the main instigator, as to when you and I appeared in an old men's magazine called Zoo Weekly.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, Zoo Weekly was a magazine. It stopped in, 2015 or 16 or something, I think. And it was a magazine. It usually had a big, beautiful woman on the front page, and then it would talk about sport and all things good and fun.
It was just a cheap Ralph or a cheap FHM.
Yeah.
So Ralph and FHM, I don't know, they were probably like $15 or $20, whereas Zoo was less than $5. Could have been $3.
Yeah, it was cheap. So it was perfect for.
Actually, I think it was even owned by either Ralph or FHM. Is it?
Oh, it was like the Jetstar to Qantas or something.
It was
just
the
a
weekly
budget
version.
magazine. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, they had this segment going on in there called the Beg for Cash segment. And you
Yes.
pretty much go on there, as the name states, you beg for some money. And the best story each week got $500. Anyway, this is the time when you and me were trying to save money, but we were on that Barramundi farm. And as I've already said in the previous episode, we lived in a shipping container. All our furniture was fucking milk crates.
No running water.
There was no running water, not even cold water. It was pretty basic, and like no medical care, cutting our own hair. We didn't have to do that, but we just clueless. And
Rubbish tip of dead fish next to you.
and I took a few photos. Sent them in, and gave them the rundown. Like,
from what I'll jump in, because from what I remember, you saw this section. It was great. You said, Spood, we should write in and beg for cash. What do you reckon a good idea is? Like, I'm thinking something about cockatoos and how the cockatoos are like shitting all over my house and you know, damaging everything. And I go, Matt, just tell them the truth. tell them we're living in a shipping container. We got no electricity. Like, we're getting paid $17 an hour. We're trying to save to go overseas. Like, we've got one PowerPoint which we cook a meat pie on and rice every single night for dinner. Tell them the truth. And you're like, good idea. Good idea.
Got a girl back one night and she just drove off, dropped us off and left.
It wasn't the most appealing place.
Told them the truth, and we got the cash.
Got the cash. And there was a photo of you with a big grin holding up a Zoo magazine or something like that, pointing at our shipping container in the background.
Yeah.
And we had $500 or something like that.
It was 500. Yeah. When we went and bought, 20 cases of 4X gold or something like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I'm just trying to. It would have been a fair few cases because we're working at Liquorland as well, so got a discount. So there we were trying to save money, yet we went and spent the $500
money on
4X gold.
Yeah, but we saved money because it was so we kind of saved $100.
Yeah.
Genius. That was back when the carton of grog was $40, and we would have got it less than that. What's a carton of beer now? 60, over 60.
Yeah, it would be.
And it's going to go up again. Dirty dogs.
I'm pretty sure I have that Zoo magazine somewhere. I'd love to find it online.
Oh, you kept it?
Yeah,
my sister.
Sure I did.
My younger sister. I don't know if she'd like me to say this, but here we go.
Silly Carmen.
She did a similar thing. She got money out of a women's magazine because I don't know what the segment was, but she apparently you can put lemon juice in your hair. Put lemon juice in your hair and then lie in the sun, and it will give you bleach your hair, make it look sun-kissed. Anyway, she was out on the farm, didn't have any lemons, but we had a lime tree. So she got a heap of limes, did that, and got second-degree burns to all her scalp and her hands and shit. Like the acid just burnt shit out of her skin.
No.
And so she sent these photos of her hair all blistered up, but then she didn't want to send her face in because she was a bit shy. So she sent in my older sister's face. Massive stitch up.
That's a massive stitch up. Oh, that's gold.
And I think she got the story, and she probably got a bit of money for that too. Yeah. Yeah.
What, from biggest beauty mistakes or something like that?
Well, they're just paying for stories, aren't they? Just paying for page fillers, and that's kind of interesting. Like, I wouldn't know that if I put lime juice in my hair, I would end up with burns all over my head.
Yeah, that's nasty. Would the same thing not have happened with lemon? I'm a bit confused.
I don't know. There must be something different going on.
Must be. Or she was meant to spray it on the top of her head rather than dip her head in a bucket of lime juice or something.
Yeah. I remember year 9 putting peroxide in my hair. It was school holidays, and so I went full Slim Shady and trying to bleach my hair with peroxide, and I didn't know what to do. So I was just outside and I was pouring it on my head. And it would drip off, and I'm just standing there I don't know how long I leave this here for, and it would drip and land on the pavers and sizzle. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What am I doing?
Did it work?
Yep.
Yeah, because I feel like I can picture you. Did it go further more white, or was it orange?
I didn't go white, it just went, I don't know.
Is this also the time you rocked up back at school with a bowl cut? Or?
That was a different time. And that's a good way to circle back around to the wedding we'd just been at. Because I came to school with this fucking bowl cut. It was a bowl cut. No other way to describe it.
No.
And got back to school, and our mate Jock, whose wedding was just passed, I got told, go get a haircut. Anyway, I was like, Jock, just get your clippers. He had like a beard trimmer. I go, get your clippers and just go, and just sort of get rid of that step that makes it look like a bowl cut. It's just, which I don't know what I was thinking, as if that was ever going to look good.
No, it wouldn't have, but
Jock's got his beard clippers. They don't have any, they've got no combs. They've got no protection from you gouging. So Jock's just gouged the fucking shit out of it, just destroyed it. Anyway, I went back to the teacher that told me to do it the next day. I was like, yeah, got it cut. And he's like, nah, here you go. Here's the cab charge. Taxi's on the way. You go up, get your hair fixed up the street. And so I went up to the shops at Lane Cove and went in. And old mate's like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I'll just fix it up. He's like, the only way I can fix this is to shave it. I was like, how short? He's like, 1. I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, then shave it. So he shaved and I went back to school and they're like, you have to wear a hat now until your hair reaches like the length of a 3. So had to grow 15 mil. You have to wear a hat everywhere you go. So I was just wearing a hat constantly for weeks.
Yeah. You'd cut around a hat or a beanie. You look silly.
Yeah, for weeks. Anyway, so yeah, bowl cuts. Would have been better off having bleached hair.
Yeah, which I feel like happened as well. We sprayed bleach on our hair in one of the classes. Anyway. Do we wrap it up there, Rabbit?
Yep. Wrap her up. I've got surgery this week.
Oh, in Sydney or?
No, here in Dubbo. Yeah, some surgeons come out from Sydney every now and then, do surgeries in Dubbo.
Jeez. This is the one, like the full-on surgery. It's not some kind of...
Yeah. Get Rico. You.
Yeah. And so next episode, you're going to come in one of those big hectic casts, you know?
Yeah, one of those slings where you just sort of got your arm strapped to your body.
Yeah, the real laid-back ones, like the ones there's a platform out in front
of you. I don't know. It all depends on the surgery you've had as to if they give you the platform or not.
Okay.
So I've never been given one of the platform ones before. I don't know if this one's going to be one of those ones when I do.
And is this meant to fix you up?
Yeah.
Is this meant to stop, as in you've been injuring yourself for years?
Oh, no, you can't fix that. I've obviously got some sort of like deficiency in my tendons or some shit.
But you're deficient in a lot of things.
This will reattach the tendon that is no longer attached.
Deficient in my tendons. Is that a medical term?
There's a condition. What's it called? I'm not saying I've got it, but there is a condition that someone is saying maybe you've got this, and it's called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Okay.
It means your tendons aren't great.
So you get a call. You get called a girl.
I'm not saying I've got that, but yeah, I could have some sort of problem because these tendon stuff's been going on for fucking years. I've never had one rip off, but I've always got inflamed
You've always had problems. Oh, well, good luck in that.
Yep.
Well, will you be ready to chat again next week?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I might be out of sorts, but we'll give it a nudge.
We'll figure it out.
Might need a guest to fill the gaps a bit.
Hopefully there's not too many stories from your surgery.
Oh, I've got to... No, I'll save this for next time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Like and subscribe, people.
Yeah, or do it, or don't be a dog. God,
get around us.
Fuck.